This just happened. Breaking news in the last couple of minutes. A road in the center of London's government district near Downing Street, what Prime Minister Liz Truss's office and residence has been closed due to a suspicious package. According to policemen on the scene, we're going to bring you updates on the situation. Just happened as we get them.
Got some corporate headlines to bring you as well this morning. Microsoft now confirming that just yesterday that the company cut some additional jobs. That was just 3 months after it trimmed less than 1% of its workers. The move coming as the software maker's revenue expected to slow. That's thanks to weaker sales of Windows licenses for its PCs. A spokesperson telling CNBC Microsoft would continue to invest in the business and try to hire in its key growth areas in the year ahead. Microsoft's next earnings report is scheduled for 1 week from today, so mark your calendar.
Also, Credit Suisse is reportedly considering a sale of its U.S. asset management business and is preparing for the departure of the president of its investment bank unit. This is all ahead of that October 27th strategic review that we've been expecting. According to a new report, the bank asset management unit is expected to draw interest from private equity, although no final decision has been made. Stock's up 2.25%, but of course, that's 10 cents. And the earnings parade continues. In just a little bit, we're going to be hearing from Goldman Sachs. After the bell today, we'll be hearing from Netflix and United Airlines. For those and other earnings to watch, we want to bring in Sarat Sethi. He is managing partner and portfolio manager at DCLA. He's also a CNBC contributor. And Sarat, I know you own Johnson & Johnson. We just went through the report, spoke with the CFO there. You had some questions about pricing, whether they were going to be able to keep up with some of these inflationary issues. You also had questions about the stronger dollar and how the company was managing it. What did you think looking through the release?
Becky, I think they did a wonderful job. I mean, when he talked about the 3 divisions that they have, and you know, you have pharmaceuticals, which did really well, but what I was really looking for was what was MedTech going to do and what was consumer going to do. They're going to be spinning off their consumer business in a few months. And I think what they talked about was, hey, things are coming back to normal in MedTech. Surgeries are coming back. So the read-through on that for other companies will be pretty good. And then into the consumer side, I think that's going to be good when the staple companies report. So all in all, they're managing the cost. They're managing the strong dollar. And I think the strong dollar for a lot of companies is going to be a difficult road.
Yeah, Sarat, one of the things that kind of caught my attention, he said that they had price increases that they put through in that consumer division. Didn't see any pushback from consumers at this point. So all of these concerns about a recession maybe not showing up, at least not there yet.
Yeah, you know, that's what we were looking for in this earnings season, to see what companies are going to call for over the next couple of quarters, not kind of looking backwards. And those price increases seem to be sticking, and they're sticking in the consumer side. They're sticking in some of the discretionary sides, including travel and entertainment. So, you know, at what point do things slow down, and where do they slow down? And that's kind of the key question as to moving forward into where to direct capital.
Although I will say Johnson & Johnson's up by about 1.5% now. It had been up by about 2.2% when the numbers first hit. So we'll see where it shakes out today. You know, up on deck next, we've got Goldman Sachs. What are you looking for?
So I think Goldman's going to be an interesting story. When you looked at Bank of America, JP Morgan, they did very well because of the diversified businesses. Goldman is a little bit like Morgan Stanley, but in terms of Morgan, you know, what I'm looking there is, hey, how is their investment banking business going to do, and how's their trading division going to do? Is it going to compensate for the asset managers which are trying to grow as well? But they're a highly volatile earnings, so it'll be interesting to see. And I think we're in front of where they're going to restructure. So that's a really interesting question. They're going back to where they were before. Normally, when companies do that, it's more of a defensive move. So I'd like to see where they're going to, how this is all going to sort out.
Any questions in particular you'd like to hear answered by David Solomon?
Yeah, I think capital markets is going to be very interesting. Goldman's in the forefront of that. So what is the activity? We've been hearing a lot about, you know, public to private. Is that happening? What are the capital markets doing? Rates have really jumped. Again, Goldman's a leader in that area. And then the asset management business. You know, where are they going with Marcus? Where are they going with the private wealth? I think people want to know, especially at Goldman, because the recurring revenue piece is what they're trying to get to. That's where you get the higher multiple, not kind of the the offset where you get highly volatile earnings. So I think that's going to be very interesting to watch.